within the term of the bylaw, which is 5 years. And that, and you suggestion, then you probably want to go through what all your emotions are. And then at the end, we say, and that all of these rates be reviewed, or that council consider whether a new bylaw is required, or an updated bylaw, something like that, by November 16th, 2013. Because that's the 1 year on this document. So I would go through each of the components, and then at the end, the resolution, the council commits to come back and consider a bylaw before November 16th.
Council clear on that? Janet?
Can I just ask, did you have something in here about the sewer there?
That's going to be the next.
Okay.
We haven't made any motion on that.
We're almost there.
Sure, Terry.
There was a suggestion to change the motion.
Absolutely. Okay, any other questions on that? We're clear on what we're doing. We're freezing things, and we're exempting the greenhouses completely, and we're lowering the commercial down to 33% of the charge across the board. All in favor? Carried. So that's the direction to make the bylaw, bring it back for.
Thanks, Gary.
Shores is open for business.
Councilor Lonsdale.
Now, don't you go in relation to this, I'd like to move that this council amend the 2006 master plan to reflect today's reality in terms of development charges we're charging in zones 3 and 4, and we put that on hold to be consistent with the direction we have given around that project.
So it's moved that we change the master plan for 2006, and the deputy mayor has seconded that. Councilor Russell.
I don't believe we should direct changing it because it was done based on a study purpose, which is quite similar to what Gary's argument. The history, we had the information and everything. I think I can't support that, but I would support a report back from Brent saying how we would make the changes applicable to what your goal is. You understand what I mean? In other words, it's based on a study. So there are certain things that have to be applied to it, similar to he was just explaining how he has to change all this and change this and change, the engineering is garbage. So I can't support it unless it's direction to staff to give us a full resident. I mean, it's a pretty simple thing.
I'm just saying the reality is that we are charging on that is not consistent with the policies that this council has adopted.
I understand. So how do you get to that? We ask staff. You can't cancel the master plan.
Janet might have an idea, and I guess my comments would be we've never, this isn't part of any agenda.
Yeah.
This has not been given any public notice. We're going to change a master plan from a number of years. There should be some, well, that's what your motion says, to change the master plan.
I'm just saying that the development charges for that area should reflect our policy, and they're not. So if Councilor Russell, if we want to amend it, to have a staff report on that, then that's fine. I'll amend it to.
Janet? Janet?
What policy do we have?
Yeah.
Well, that's my concern is right now we have put a moratorium on sewer development for zones 3 and 4, and consistent with an ad hoc committee report that said quite clearly, until there's irrefutable need, we will not be proceeding this direction. I've been told by developers, not just this gentleman, but other developers, that it is a deterrent, that charge, and people are saying, why am I paying for sewers if they're not coming? And we've clearly said in the first 20 years of the phase of the sewer plant, we are not expecting sewers in zones 3 and 4 unless there's irrefutable proof, which we have yet even to put in an infrastructure on. So I'm just saying we're being hypocritical or two-faced or deceitful or whatever you want, descriptor you want to use. You're not being consistent with our actions. I like to be, because we brought development charges to the table today. They are part, it is part of our development charge package right now, but it is deceptive. And so I'm just saying, if what it requires is staff direction to say, how do we change it, then my motion will reflect that. But we have to address it, because it's not consistent with what we've said.
Yeah.
And neither is zone 3 and zone 4 consistent, because what happens if South Bend comes in and wants to develop, the sewer is available, they can charge them a development charge.
Oh, they're already in. They've already been exempted. We've already put in infrastructure, have we not, for sewers, for,
They will be charged,
Yeah.
right? There's two components of that. There was a force main as well as they'll be charged the immediate development charge. There's
So you're
zone
just
4.
applying. to
say
areas that don't have access.
existing lots, and how's that, existing undeveloped lots that have already.
That have-
But that's existing undeveloped lots in zone, in South Bend.
Well, then I'm gonna ask for,
It's a complicated issue.
all right, I'm gonna ask for a staff report to simplify it, because this is something I live with daily.
Councilor,
Development fees, development charges, they're pretty well the same across the board, no matter where you're in Grand Bend, on Lake Shore and all the rest, right, whether you have septic or not.
If it's an identified expansion area, they are charged the sewer. That's the way this current bylaw is set up and the previous one.
Okay. So somewhere along the Lake Shore, then it's not identified, would not be paying the same development.
Correct.
right, they don't pay the sewer
It's
charge.
either in the identified service area or expansion area.
And the problem that I'm hearing right now then is that we have an area that wasn't an identified plan, but we decided to take it out because of a recommendation in that hoc committee and it being charged. Is that the issue?
It is currently in their development church bylaw, it still has a sewer expansion area.
Yes.
Right.
Council, to me, I guess, I haven't taken it that they have said, we are not doing sewage, period.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
still an
Yeah.
identified expansion area.
So let's get a report.
Let's get a report from
Yeah.
staff on how we can,
need to
So
look at
the
the
bylaw proceeds the way it is.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
it does.
yes, for now.
Very good.
Councilor Russell.
That's what I wanted to talk about. I think Janet brings, it's a very important point. This bylaw exists, and this is another one of the anomalies that exists within it, and the questions about this stat and that stat. That's why you review 6 months. That's why I'm suggesting, if these in fact have to be clarified and whatever, let's clarify them instead of keep throwing stuff at the moon.
So let's bring it, I'll amend my motion to say staff direction within the 6-month period at the review time. It'll be consistent then with the review, but I want to put a timeline on it.
Is that a notice to motion?
Hmm?
Is that a notice to motion?
No, it's just off the cuff.
Off the cuff, it's an emergent issue, we do things off the cuff.
So we're asking for a report on changing the service area,
What we're asking for a report on.
charging development charges for a service area that's a future service area. Whether it's 20 years out or not, it's still a, so, yeah.
We have to look at it.
You know what the report is?
And back on.
Are we clear on what the report is? And how development charges are charged in those areas? And how development charges for sewage are charged in those areas?
And those, like, test those areas. All right,
Okay?
it's a dodgy one.
Moved and seconded by Deputy Mayor. Any
Yeah,
other
it's been
questions?
dodgy from day one.
Questions to that? All in favor of that? Carried. You have one question?
Yeah, I would actually, because of the controversy with population projections, and obviously this is something we're going to review in the next 6 months to a year, I'd like to make a motion that we actually just remove that chart from the proposed bylaw that we'll sign on. Absolutely, because it's uncertain and we're reviewing it this upcoming year. I just don't want it entrenched into something that's a bylaw, because then it gives credibility to it.
It's not in the law.
It's not in the.
Okay, so it's only gonna be in the study itself.
Basis for the bylaw.
Okay, as long as it's not in the bylaw.
Bylaw is right here. The bylaw is right here, right, Jan?
Yeah, I just, as
Big honking document there.
long as that's.
Council has approved the study.
Yes.
Council has approved the
Direction
study.
to this
But it's
bylaw.
not.
Oh, we're gonna revisit.
It's under review.
What? Okay, we have the wastewater, water and wastewater charges review is the second part of our agenda today. It's 12:30. We've taken hours longer than It's very important, and it's been a great discussion, and I'm glad